Choose your character.
All right. Welcome back to the Geekset podcast, the only podcast that blend hip hop culture and geek culture together. I'm your boy Deuces, and this is 101 with Deuces, the place where I speak with creators, curators, and people that you should know. And right now, man, we got somebody that I became a fan of, and then I did some work with him, and just seeing his evolution and seeing everything that he's doing has just been so amazing. We are talking about none other than the one and only DearSilas himself. How are you doing, bro?
Man, I'm great. It's a lot of good stuff happening as we speak right now. So I'm trying to really contain myself, and stay professional. But yeah. I feel amazing right now.
Man, so shout out to Noriega and the Drink Champs because they make it popular to give people their flowers while they're here. So we make sure we do that on our platform. So I need to let you know, bro. So I got put onto you probably like a year and a half ago. It was during the pandemic, and it was your Missy Elliott flip, right?
Yeah.
And I thought it was just so dope because I was like, one, everybody had made that joke anyways, right? Just seeing people, that there's somebody in the big garbage bag suit dancing in the rain, dancing like Missy Elliott. But so, so we seen that viral clips. But when I saw you drop bars to it, and I said, oh, he killing it. But then when you listen to the bars and you really narrating what's happening in the video, I said, yo, this guy's different. So then I started following you, and then like the popular TikTok trends, you start seeing it. Your flip on it was you, like I said, as an artist, you throwing your bars on it. You did the wipe them down challenge one. The one that you did with Chloe Bailey is like, you know what I'm saying? It was like you start seeing this, and I said, yo, this I call it your ultra instinct skill.
Okay.
Of you being able to identify a trend, but then also just throwing your spin on it on a different way. And I just want to make sure that man, from the Blerd community, as a representative of the Blerd community to you, man, we appreciate everything that you're bringing to this game and everything. Like, definitely, thank you for that.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, man, those are a lot of cool moments. I just think back on that time, and I think my mindset at the time was like, I want to be consistent, but I just want to be consistent with something that means something to me. And I just don't want to do stuff just for the sake of it being a trend already. So most of the things that I was doing, pretty much everything that I was doing, were things that were resonating with me at the time. Right. But also, I want to be able to put my spin on something because how the trend works is usually somebody will put it right back out there in the same exact way, and I just wanted to put something out there like, how would DearSilas approach this? I just like to keep it interesting. Shout out to Young BBQ. For even dancing to the Missy Elliott record that gave me the inspiration to actually do that freestyle. And she made it so easy because she's so very descriptive with her body. You know what I'm saying? Like that it made it easier for me to just rap along with what she was doing. So yeah, shout out to her too.
Yeah. So like I wanted to ask like when you come across these trends, how do you what is your process of determining which ones you're going to flip and which ones you're not?
Yeah, it all just goes back to like what I'm into, like I'm a huge, Missy Elliott fan. I'm super duper inspired. So when I saw that, it was a no brainer. And also just like her talent, I'm inspired by, other things that are great and everything else that I did, I was just like even with the Wipe It challenge, with that, I wanted to display, my art skills, like animating. So I animated that and I was like, why not put a rap to it too? So it was just me just wanting to have fun and really push the limits to what I can do. Just testing my skills really.
Okay, wait. So now you just dropped the bomb on me that I didn't even expect. Yeah. You animated that yourself?
Oh yeah. I animated, I drew all of the pieces and whatnot and animated it and put it together. Shout out BMW Kenny too, man. That's his record, Wipe It. And I was inspired by that, but because I saw like people doing the Wipe It challenge in the in the mirrors and whatnot, and I was like, well, how can I spin that? And I was like, you know what? And I mean, it's not like I was promoting myself drawing it, but it was just more so a challenge for myself. Like, what's something else you do, but you want to get better at? And I was able to get better at animation just by attempting, to do that. So yeah,
man, that is super dope because like, so me myself, you know what I'm saying, I do graphic design work as well, right? So it's like, but as an artist, mine came out of a necessity. I learned how to do graphic design stuff based off of the fact that I felt like there was graphic design artists that were over taxing me, right? And so I was like, I'm gonna learn it myself. And then I got to a point where I got really good at it, to where people started asking me to do work for them. So of course, because I felt like they were overtaxing me, I was like, I'm never going to overcharge an artist. So I started giving people the plug and really knocking it out. And I realized, like, okay, though I got this skill set and I'm good at it, I don't really want to do it as a profession, because music is still my profession, right? It's still my love and where it's at. But so it's like, even so, like a lot of the things when we do is when we put out music or stuff like that, I'm doing the cover and everything. So like, even for our record, I did that cover. You know what I'm saying? With that flip of, you know what I'm saying, having you as Naruto and me as Sasuke, and just like, I was like, ooh, this is going to be fire. Because when I was thinking of the song, and this is where I appreciate you so much, because that is still one of my most personal and important songs that I've ever did, right? So when I did this song, right, when I chose to pick you, I did the song first and I did like the verses. And for the longest, I'm like, bro, I don't know what to do with this hook. I'm like, I want to do something that's going to be like powerful and meaningful, but I couldn't think of anything. And I was consuming so much of your content that I was like, I wonder if DearSilas will hop on it. So when I sent it to you and you was like, yeah, I'm down, man, let's make it happen. So as you sent it back, I want to say too, also, thank you so much, because what you did on that hook, bro, to this day, people to this day still bring up that song, talk about that hook, talk about that the whole production value of it. But it was like, when I was coming up with the cover, I'm like, all right, we both Blerds. I was like, I know he rock with Naruto heavily, so I was like, I'm gonna give him Naruto. I'm like, I'm gonna give me Sasuke. But then I got in my head thinking about the storyline. I was like, Sasuke, I mean, he ain't the best person to Naruto, but I'm like, but fuck it. It is for the cover.
Nah, it works. It works because I got a song on my project, Your Last Cherry Blossom, called Missing Nin.
Yeah.
And basically that record is kind of like, I feel like I relate to both characters, in different, different aspects. But on that particular song, I was really talking about Sasuke's journey, him and his family and his father and Itachi. So like, I mean, I was cool with it. You know what I'm saying? I got it from the jump. So I was really
No, that's dope, man. Like I said, it was just one of my favorite collabs that I ever did, because like I said, the song meant so much to me, because I spoke about a lot of things just in personal, like in an artist's mind, in a black man's mind. One of my favorite lines on there, when I say, like, when you go against the drive, you go against the team, because I'm talking about, like, when you have people in your life who is really like being a headache to you, or not necessarily rocking with the things that as an artist we have to sacrifice to do. So when I heard what you did to the hook, and it was still speaking to that sentiment of that, I was like, yo. And like, and then because it was an extended hook, it wasn't like a traditional 8-bar hook. It was just like, it was just like an extended joint. So it was like, bro, like, yeah. But then that also showed me your artistry, bro. And I love your music inclination, because like, not only were you in the band, and not only can you play the trumpet, but it's like, you're a rapper. We know you as a rapper, but like, you can carry a note like crazy, bro. So it's like, where did all that come from? Like this musical, did you go to vocal therapy, or was this just stuff that was always within you?
Yeah, man, I've been into music for a real long time. Like, shout out my dad. If it weren't for him, I probably wouldn't be doing it. Because he pushed it in front of me at a very early age. Like, I remember being in the crib during the summertime, like everybody outside playing, hooping, tag and all this stuff. And it's like, he like, again, I'm at the piano, and I'm just going over stuff, chords and everything. And I'm looking out the window, and I'm just looking at everybody having fun. I'm just like, I hate this nigga. He got me up in here, But like, I was just having a conversation the other day, like, man, I get it now. I really appreciate it, because if it weren't for those moments, I wouldn't have the tools that I have right now, a part of my arsenal. But yeah, like, just between that, I've I've done it all, man. I was in, the performing arts school and stuff like that. It's just ingrained in me at this point. And that was my major in college, you know what I'm saying? Shout out my university. I didn't finish because I dropped out because I wanted to go do music. But here we are. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it's a part of me, just not so much, not even just music, but just being a creative as a whole. I just really love to see what I'm capable of, what I can just make happen with my own two hands, because I really resonated with a lot of things you said about, you doing your own cover art and everything. That's the story of my life. Like, I've had a lot of relationships that kind of went sour, in the past, and I was really just forced to just figure out how to do things on my own. And because of that, it made me, so much more, equipped, especially in today's world, of artistry, to just be able to take control and just do what I want to do. And I'm happy to say, like, because of those situations, like, I'm ready for whatever. There's nothing that I'm not prepared for. You can throw anything at me, and I feel like I can turn it into gold. So yeah,
no, that's dope, man. Like I said, because you even do like your own videos. I was listening to one of your interviews, and you were saying, like, you used to get in your head about these music videos, but then the video that goes the most, or the video that got the most attention and love, was the ones that cost no money that you shot. But I think it's your artistic approach, because I knew right off the rip when you first did your first video for I Ain't Stressing that it was going to go. Right now, again, at this point, I'm consuming mad DearSilas content. I'm like, yo, I'm all in. So I'm just seeing just the difference of you just bouncing, but it was like it was multiple of you. I think the first one I saw, I think you had, I don't know if it was a mattress that you set up outside or something, but like you was laying down and you popped up and you're doing the dance, and I was like, yo, this is going to be that one. And so, and as I saw the growth and the grind of it, and start seeing more and more people do it. And then when you started posting, people from the village, shout out to the village who's in here, man. Shout out to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Definitely respect y'all. But like when you start seeing more people just randomly out there doing it, and and then like the diversity of the village, because there was people that's like, okay, that's a teacher, that's a business person, like this is just a person on a subway. It's like, I'm like, yeah, this is going to be that one and everything like that. So it's like that mindset too, though. It's like it all stemmed from you doing your own video, not spending millions of dollars on it, but it still go because the music is good and the vibes. It's just the vibes. So it's like, yeah, man, I resonated with that so much with you, bro.
Thank you, man. I think what it is, man, and again, yeah, shout out to the village. I see some of the village members in here right now, man, dropping the leaves and whatnot. Thank y'all, man, for supporting me continuously, and just exchanging good energy with me. I think, like, it's more than just about me dropping music and whatever. Like, I really try to have real conversations with them, and I really want to help people the same way they help me. Like, they really help me to focus and just to be a better human being, at the end of the day. And that's my goal in life, just to not only elevate in my career, but just to elevate as a person, how I treat people, or how I want to be treated, or, the gift that I have, and giving that to people, or just, just higher frequencies, Shout out to the village. But yeah, it's definitely diverse, man, because like you said, it's a lot of different people, of different backgrounds, ethnicities, cultures, and they're all doing this one thing, this bounce. It's cool. And what's so cool about it, I think, like, just to go back to what you said about, like, we spend all this money on certain things, and it's like, it does okay. But, you go out there with zero budget, and you do that, and that stuff takes off. And I think it's just because people can feel it. They can feel the energy behind what you do. They can tell when it, like, how authentic, and they can tell when you're not being real, or you just doing something because you want to make this pop, because you feel like that's what's going on. Like, I Ain't Stressing today came from me stressing. Like, I was
right
going through it. I was, insecure about certain things, or I was like, at the time, 2020 was a rough year. Like, basically, I was getting ready to go on tour. I had just dropped my Plus Ultra EP, and then a week later, COVID, pandemic. Like, I had
Wow.
to cancel everything. Like it
Yeah.
was literally like 7 days after Plus
Yeah.
Ultra dropped. So weird, we were so excited because I was thinking like, yeah, I'm about to do this and do that.
Yep.
And that situation forced me to just really reevaluate my whole strategy, the way I think about things. And that kind of really started me turning up, even more than I had ever had on the social media side, and how, just got me geared up to figure out, okay, how to market myself better and, and my branding. But again, like I was really stressing because at the time I was thinking to myself, just I should be further along, just
Right.
the woes of being a entertainer, and you look at everybody else's lifestyle, and you're not supposed to do that, but you look at it,
Right.
because things aren't always as they appear, but
Yeah.
we still take that energy in, and wish, like, I wish I had this and I wish I had this, instead of being thankful for what we actually have. But I was stressing at the time, man. I just went outside, and I saw a video on Twitter. Somebody had posted, it was an old video of Chris Cross and Jermaine Dupri and the Brat, and they will perform, To Live and Die for Hip Hop, dope record that also samples Regina Bell, Baby Come to Me. And they were just on stage, and they just had this long bounce montage. Like they would just bankhead bounce, and just it was so cool. And it was like, I just remember being sad on the couch, and when I watched it, it made me so happy. I was like, so I was like, I went outside. I said, I just want to bounce. I'm just gonna do the same thing they did. So I went outside and I bounced, put the old school fades in, and then that took off just from that. There were the words didn't even exist at that time. So yeah.
Yeah, and because what it is, bro, even when you listen to the songs, and I don't know if you constructed it this way, being an artist is something that I identify. That song has a build, right? Because it comes on, right? And so it's like, let's say you fuming, you mad, and that song comes on, the vibe comes on, you still a little bit mad, but by the time you get towards the end of that first verse, you like bounce your shoulders. They're like you with it. And so because it's like, and that's what it is. It's like you cannot be mad listening to that song. It builds up, and it builds up within you. It literally changes your mood. And so it's like, it's so dope to me seeing that. And then when you see like big name artists rocking with it, like, bro, and that's the thing. Like me, I'm a champion of my peoples, right? Yeah. So after me and you connected, I was a fan. So after me and you did that song together, I'm like, all right, DearSilas, that's my nigga at this point. So when I saw Snoop vibe into it, bro, you would have thought that we won the champion. I was celebrating like I was there. I'm like, yo, I'm showing it to people because I'm like, bro, this I saw it from the get-go. I'm like, this is going to be one of those ones. And it makes sense for somebody like Snoop, who really lives his life to I'm not stressing. Like Snoop does what he like, Snoop is like, look here, I'm gonna smoke, and then I'm out here chilling. I ain't trying to stress. So for Snoop the vibe to it, that's like the ultimate vibe setter. I was like, yo, this is so dope, bro. Like I legit went crazy for that. So like that was super dope, bro.
Man, yeah. Shout out Snoop, man. He's done more than you can imagine for me. I really appreciate him. Yeah. Shout out everybody else who's been rocking with the record. Even just now that you mention it, like when I said it was hard for me to contain myself coming in here. Like I literally woke up this morning to Lupita, dancing to I Ain't Stressing Today.
I saw that.
I was like, what? Like I woke up early, and I was like, I just want to lay down for like 15 minutes. And my DJ texted me, and he was like, another one. And I was like, what's he talking about? So I looked at the text message, and I squinted, and I was like, that's not who I think it is. And I clicked it, and I didn't even watch the video. I threw the phone down, and I just had to prepare myself first. So it's been an amazing journey, man. Things are just, they're going great, and I'm grateful.
Yeah. So on my platform, especially to the village, who probably this is their first time even figuring out who I am, we call ourselves Geekset Podcast, the only podcast that blend hip hop culture and geek culture together. So obviously, your music is literally that. Your music is like you blend hip hop culture and geek culture in one space and everything like that. So one thing I always like to ask my guests, and this is something, it's a two-part question. First things first. What was the first nerd fandom that you was like really engraved in?
Nerd fandom? Let's see here. I don't know if this counts as nerd. I mean, I guess it counts as nerd fandom, but I'm old school. I mean, like, I'm gonna try to go back a little deeper than anime, but I'll probably say, man, the first thing that I was obsessed with was maybe like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh no,
Like,
that's definitely it. That's definitely nerd culture, bro.
yeah, like I want to go all the way back. Like this was like
Yeah.
my first obsession. Like I can say the whole first movie like line from line. Like,
Oh, bro, I that first movie, both of them, that and the Ooze, they hold a special part, like to the point where I couldn't even rock with the Michael Bay version because I'm like, fam, I feel like those represent us better. The Michael Bay version, I didn't really rock with heavily. I didn't like how the turtles look. You know what I'm saying? I was excited that they brought us Bebop and Rocksteady finally because you know in Ooze we got like the fake version of Bebop and Rocksteady. But but I was just like, man, I don't like how they did my turtles. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, those suits back in the day looked at fire. But you know what?
And it because they were closer to the, you know, the animated series to me at that time. And I don't know. I love it. Even like because they were puppets, you know. But I was cool with that, even over the CGI. And that could just be me being biased to my that era and that time. And I even say after that though, like I'm still trying to stay like, because obviously everybody knows like I love anime and stuff. But what's crazy is like for the past, I don't know, I just felt the urge starting like a week and a half ago to just listen to like a Goofy movie soundtrack. Like I just been on to that. So like that was big for me. Like that movie, that culture. I mean,
so I got something I want to bring up. Do you watch the show Atlanta at all?
I knew you was about to say that. See, and that's what's crazy because I was like last night I just found out that they had something in the episode to do with that or whatever. And I hadn't watched it yet. Like I've only seen like the first season of Atlanta. And I'm just like, I've been so busy, man. I was like, one day I'm just gonna sit down and watch it all. And I saw like a TikTok video last night that was like trying to explain the episode. So I was like, nah. I'm a person like I don't like spoilers. I like to see stuff from the end.
There's two moments that I felt like they could have tapped in with you because on that one I was talking about, they definitely could have. But there was another one. They had a Crank That killer, right? It was a killer that was going after anybody who did the Crank That dance, right? Like that was the premise. And then I immediately thought, I was like, wait, so like everybody who ever did a Crank That or remix or anything, and I was like, DearSilas did a Crank That Pikachu. So he would have been somebody had to run from the Crank That killer.
I don't know how they missed that one because it's got an astounding amount of views on it. But I forget about this sometimes.
Yeah. So in the nerds, so one of the things, like I said, we're black nerds, right? So the second part of the question I like to ask was, what was the first property that you identified with where you saw yourself in it? So for me, it was the Power Rangers. Like, I don't like, even though the Red Ranger, like Jason and Tommy was clearly the leaders and like the top dogs, I identified with Zach. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So like that was the first time like I saw myself in nerd culture, like, yo, you know, and then obviously Static Shock and stuff like that. So what was your first one that you was like, you identify with something within this culture?
I got to go with the same, man. It's got to be Zach from Power Rangers because just the whole hip hop keto, like the whole thing, like, man, come on. He had a fade. I had a fade. You know what I'm saying? I would also, it was another series, Beetleborgs, man. It was the green Beetleborg. His name was Roland, I think. And I was just so happy just to see like myself, like another, and then that was cool too, because you know, like Beetleborgs had kids. You know what I'm saying, instead of adults, so or like older teen, because I wasn't as old as the Power Rangers, you know what I'm saying, when I first saw that. So it was cool seeing that. So I would say, I'd say the same, man. Power Rangers and Beetleborgs.
Yeah. And then, you know, the one thing I love about Blerd culture is what we do, like how we're able to integrate our like culture, like just black culture into these nerd properties, right? Because like even like in your bars, and this is what I love too, is that you are dropping deep bars, right? Like I'm talking about like bars that hit, but also like if you was on the URL stage, you'll definitely get the Don DeMarco, because that I'm a Goofy movie is my favorite tape. I want to take Roxanne out on a date. I used to want to be like Superman until I saw Goku without the cape. Dog, that I stank face. I was like, appreciate it. Like that was a hard ass bar, bro. And it was just like, to me, I love how you bring that in throughout your, you know what I'm saying, throughout your bars and your music, because it's like, it's not corny at all, but it's also on brand with whatever the song is. So it's like, if you don't know that reference, then you probably like, you still rock with it because it fits within the song. But if you know that reference, you definitely get the stink face.
I'm glad you said that because that's really what I aspire for. Like I definitely my goal is to make music about, what I'm passionate about, things that I love, the things that are going to help me get through what I'm going through.
Yeah.
But it's I've spoke about this so many times about, I may have some lines like some of my closest friends, they aren't really like just super duper anime heads like me. But we got so many other things in common that it don't matter. But it's like they like some of those same lines that you're talking about, or like they like the anime heavy lines and have no idea why I'm saying it, but it means something different to them. But and it's cool. But when I tell them, they be like, "Oh, okay, I get why you said so and so." So it's like boom, like just double. I love that. So, like, I love that people can actually still get something from those, those references without even being familiar with what I'm talking about. So yeah.
I've been reaching high, I want everything. I've been staying down, I've been on the scene, yeah. All I got is my team, and they there when I need to lean on them for anything. I've been reaching high, I want everything. I've been staying down, I've been on the scene, yeah. I work hard for the cream, and it's falling on me, cause you know that I got bigger dreams. Show no mercy, this how it be, yeah. Show no mercy when it comes to our dreams, yeah. Show no mercy cause it falls on me, yeah, yeah. All I got is my team and they there when I need to lean on them for anything. All I need in this life of sin is just me and my drive to win. I'ma go hard to the end. You niggas lacking, man, that's hard to defend. Just understand these people judge me by the dark of my skin. I got a lot of shit depending on me. Live out these fears with these devils out here winning on me. That's why my head is out here spinning on me. They got me on the island. I'm Deontay Wilder in the 7 trying to catch my balance. Look, I'm ready.
And it's funny because so the whole reason why we started this platform is that, right? Because we started this platform because one of the things, when you tell somebody that you're a black nerd, they immediately identify with Steve Urkel. And though we love Steve Urkel, we are not the corny butt of the jokes type of thing, right? So I started interviewing people, and this is where my connection to I Ain't Stressing happened so much, right? Because when we was doing these podcasts, we really just wanted to talk about geek shit, right? You know what I'm saying? With my peoples, right? So then when the pandemic hit and we couldn't get together, I said, all right, I don't want us to lose steam. And again, I was stressing. I'm like, bro, what are we going to do? We can't podcast. We can't go to conventions because we would cover conventions. So I was like, you know what? I want to interview people, but I don't want to talk about only like their music or only the movie they're in. I want to talk to people and get the geek side that they don't get. So one of my best and favorite interviews I did, well, a couple, like I interviewed Jay Ellis during the height of Insecure, the season 5. Right. And of course, everybody want to talk about Issa and Lawrence. Will they, won't they? And we spent majority of that interview talking about his love for Blue Beetle, DC Comics, and how he would love. And I was like, see, you're not going to get that anywhere. Or like I talked to O'Shea Jackson Jr. and, that's Ice Cube's son. I'm like, everybody want to talk about Ice Cube. No, all we talked about was classic video games and how he wants to be the Kevin Feige of video games, because he said that video game movies are not like being respected. So he wants to bring all those video game properties and give them like really dope stuff, right? So I'm like, yo, this is that niche, right? So it's like I started realizing that everybody got a little bit of geek in them, like I'm talking to some of the most unorthodox people. Like I talked to Drummer Boy. Everybody know Drummer Boy is this trap. So I'm like, this is gonna be a hard interview. Nope, we gotta talk about classic video games. He's pulling out classic video games from his studio, and I'm like, yo, this is and this is a blurred culture, right? So like when you making music that fits those notes, and then like you see the response, like we went to DreamCon, and that's RDC World's convention, and the number one thing that I see online is like, all right, next year DreamCon, it gotta pop. DearSilas has to perform. Like there's such a call for you to come to DreamCon, and if you can make it, bro, you should come. I've been speaking volumes about what RDC World is, because like I'm pretty sure you've been to a comic book convention and anime convention, right?
Yeah. Shout out RDC, man, super like dope. Like, oh my gosh, like them and so a host of other people, even like Caleb City. That's some of like my favorite creators. I love seeing what they put together. I was actually supposed to come to DreamCon this past time, but like life happened and I had to attend to something else. But shout out my homie Av too. We got a record together. We did too. So yeah.
Yeah,
I would love it. I would love to come perform at DreamCon, though.
Bro. You got to, because like I said, obviously we cover conventions. The difference between that and the DreamCon is that it is unanimously us. Like if it's a percentage, it's 98% us, because not only are we there cosplaying, but the staff, like the people that work the scenes, is Black people. And this is what I love, because it's something that only Black culture would know. Their staff, like their security and the people that was running it, was older Black women and Black men. And in Black culture, who got the most respect? No matter what, you ain't gonna say nothing to Unc and Auntie. Yeah, you ain't gonna
off the rip.
Right.
They might pull a bet out, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Let me the switch. No,
yeah, so I love seeing that, but this is the moment that I really love. So in Black culture, you see somebody shining, right? Jewelry, right? You gonna be like, hey, I see you out here shining, bro. So we in there now. My host, one of my hosts, he was dressed as Kakashi. I'm talking about full Kakashi cosplay with the Sharingan, right?
Yeah.
We see this dude, he looked like Amigos. I'm talking about he got big chain jewelry, right? So we seeing him like, bro, I see you out here shining. He like, dog, you got the Sharingan. I said, this is the culture. Like you see, like we talking about your jewels, you talking about the accuracy of this cosplay. And I said, I've never seen this anywhere else besides here. You know what I'm saying? Like I love, and then we went to a kickback. Now we all been to kickbacks. Obviously, what we're gonna talk about, right? It's gonna be sports, right? That's you see mostly at kickback, sports, music, it's like that. No, bro, we at the kickback. I'm talking about dominoes playing, spades playing, and we are in a full-blown conversation about why JoJo Bizarre Adventure needs to be in the big three, or why Yu Yu Hakusho is such a dope anime. And I said, I ain't never been at a kickback where this is the topic. And I said, I just love all of this. And so it's like, I always recommend Blerd to go to DreamCon and just experience that, because it's like no other, bro. And I think you would love it when you get a chance to get out there.
Oh, I already know, man. I gotta pull up to it, man. That sounds like an event come true, just being able to just fully submerge yourself in, the things you love, but at the same time, just like be proud of your Blackness at the same time too, man. That's dope.
Yeah, and that's what I love about Blerd Coach, because it's this showing our love for the fandoms of the things that we do, right? So like, and even like I love your deep like the games and things that you rock, because I know your favorite video games, I think last I saw was Link Awakening and Street Fighter 2 Turbo, right?
Yes, absolutely. Damn, that's crazy. I didn't think nobody was paying attention to that when I said that.
If I'm going to represent this culture, I make sure that I do my research and everything like that, right? So I needed to know, who's your go-to fighter in Street Fighter 2? Like who was your person?
I like to say I'm well-rounded. Well, not with everybody. I mean, I try to, but if I gotta go with somebody, I'm normally gonna go with Ken. Honestly.
Hey, much respect to Ken, dog.
Yeah, it's just like I like Ryu, you know what I'm saying, but I just feel like I can get them combos off a little bit quicker with Ken, you know what I'm saying, when I'm fighting with him. I definitely started off with Chun-Li. I think everybody might start off Chun-Li. She's like the easiest character to kind of get a grasp of. But when I want to switch it up, I hit, Blanca Guile, E Honda, or something like that. But for the most part, I'm a Ken person.
Everybody always has like a game or like that one where they like, hey, you can't see me in this one and everything like that, right? You know what I'm saying? So, and like Ken was always my go-to until Fei Long hit the stage, because I love all Bruce Lee inspired characters, like you know what I'm saying. And once Fei Long hit it, I said, yo, I rock with Fei Long heavily, and that's became one of my go-to peoples, bro.
I ain't gonna lie, I do like Fei Long too. The only reason I didn't like, he would still probably be like secondary tier for me, like as far as who I would play with, is because like I usually pick Fei Long when I want to prove a point. Like I just want to beat you so bad, like close distance, you know what I'm saying? Because he ain't got no projectiles. So that's the only reason why like I didn't play with him, because it's nothing like a Hadouken, you know what I'm saying? Or having a battle going with somebody that's right. But like if they gave like him like even if he did like the kick and then shot a flame off distance, I'm like, all right, y'all ain't touching Fei Long. You're right. Look, he just
and then he doing the warrior cries like Bruce Lee too. It's like, yo, like Fei Long, like bro, when that fake rumor went around that there was like the family doesn't want Fei Long in it, I legit at first I felt heartbroken. Then we found out that it wasn't. I was like, all right, cool. All right, I'm good.
Oh man, I missed that one. I didn't even know that. Yeah, like man, that's ultimate homage. I mean, I thought it was dope because that's exactly. I mean, I know he's based off of him, but that's all I really see when I see that. When I see Fei Long, I see Bruce Lee all day, man. Like, yeah, and then the fact that his character is a movie star and everything, you know what I'm saying? It's just perfect. But yeah.
So on our platform, we also have what we call hypotheticals that we do, right? So I want to play a game with you. It's a hypothetical. So we got 3 different apocalypse. I need to know which one do you believe that you would survive the longest? A robot apocalypse, a zombie apocalypse, or an alien apocalypse?
A robot, alien, or a zombie? Which one would I survive?
Yeah, which one do you think? Do you feel that you would be able to survive the longest?
That's a good question. I will probably say alien.
Alien? Okay. All right. So now here's the second part of it, because now we got to break it down, right? So we're gonna break it down 3 different aliens. All right. All right. So we have like the Mars attack aliens, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. We also have like the traditional from the Alien franchise, the xenomorphs.
Yeah.
And then we have the Independence Day style aliens, the ones that got the ship and they're coming at you like that, right?
Yeah.
So let's start out with the Mars attacks. How long are you giving yourself on that? And that one, if you had to put a time,
like how long I would survive with them?
Yep.
In all honesty, I really think I wouldn't die at all. I think I would survive.
All right.
All the way. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Just because, like, I mean, if you want me to explain, but yeah.
Yeah, no, go ahead. Explain.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I think, like, man, I think I'll be able to connect with them in some kind of way because they kind of silly. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like if I did it, I would have to do it right off the bat because they really they trigger happy too. They be like, ah, boom, you know, that was cool. You know what I'm saying? But I kind of feel like they might be intrigued. Like I'll just be like, and they be like, they'll take me back to the crew. Like, we found this dude cool, man. You know what I'm saying? They rock with the music or whatever. So I think I'll be cool with them. I just have to be like in fear for the rest of my life. But
right. All right. So now xenomorphs. So that's from the Alien franchise.
That's a little tough right there.
It is.
I would say, man, let's see here. Depending on where we were, what the situation was, I don't know. I give myself, man, like I think, man, I maybe like a year and a half.
That's
or something like that.
You gave yourself longer than I did.
Just like staying away, you know what I'm saying, hiding and finding some place to, you know, be ducked off at.
Bro, have you ever played the Alien game?
I haven't.
Bro, it is. So you remember when you first played like Resident Evil, like there was jump scares, like you like, bro, that Alien game, I think it's called Alien Isolation. It legit, like it really puts you in a ship and the xenomorphs, you got to deal with that. But that xenomorph is hunting you down through the ship. So it's like you got to hide. If you make a noise, it catches you. Bro, I'm talking about the level of scare that it brings you up there. That's one of those ones.
And see, that's why I said it depends on like where I'm located at. Like if I'm on the ship, I ain't gonna lie. I might just say, look, just take me right now. Like, go ahead. You know what I'm saying? I can go chill with my people. Just go. I ain't got time to be scared. You know, do what you gotta do. Hit me with the gun. Just disintegrate my body so I won't feel it. You know.
All right. So the last aliens is the Independence Day style aliens. So they got the ship. You know what I'm saying? It's us. I mean, so some people like the army's recruiting. So they come in, they getting you. They need you to come up. How long you giving yourself?
Man, that one is very scary. Because in that situation, I don't even think it'd be like that. The aliens that would kill me. I think it would be like, man, people on Earth are very, very wishy-washy.
Hey, man.
And because of panic and fear and terror, I just feel like people will start turning on each other, you know what I'm saying, trying to survive, you know, and they be killing. Like we may be able to have some sort of community where we got like this zone where we survive, and then, you know, we got even though Earth ain't got no technology that can handle it's just had. But just say, for instance, I don't know, we was underground or something like that.
Yeah.
I just think like, man, I don't know. I feel like, man, if we were able to, like, you know, create some civilization on some, you know, what you call it, like some Walking Dead type shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. If they just, you know, obliterate the entire Earth, I might be able to survive with them a little bit longer, but I think the humans will end up turning on each other.
I believe so too. So one of the things about these hypotheticals that we do, and when we break it down, what I realized is that like I have the philosophy of certain skills, but I've never had to do it, right? Like I believe I can make fire, but I've never been in a situation where I had to make fire. You know, like I don't know how to hotwire a car. So I'm like, I'm just going to be a soldier. Like you put a gun in my hand and tell me what to do. I'll hunt and, I'll go get I'll go on supply runs. But I'm like, there's a lot of skill sets that I'm like, I got to really hone up on to make sure I'm prepared if of apocalypse hit. Cause I'm like, I believe I have these skill sets, but I've never put it into place.
Right. Now I definitely think mine's are dormant. Cause right now, if I had to make a fire, man, we finna freeze, goddamn. Like it's over with, But you know what? We need to get right, bro. We need to get them skills up. They don't need to be like, if we got to do it, we just need to, hell yeah, I can build a fire.
Yeah.
What you mean? Like, I can do this shit right now. All I need is a paper clip and a piece of tissue. What you talking about? Like, yeah.
So, like I said, we do get like fan questions and everything that we always ask. One of the fan questions, it's more of a fan statement, but there was like, with you playing the trumpet, have you ever thought about like, with so many hip hop people also playing like instruments, like a dream collab or something? Somebody said you on the trumpet, Lizzo on the flute. Like that would be fire if y'all did. Somebody brought that up.
Oh, nah, that would be dope. I definitely do. Oh my gosh, hell yeah! Like if I could play horn, Lizzo play flute, hell, Anderson .Paak be on set.
Oh yeah,
shit, tell Pharrell pull out the sax. You know what I'm saying? Too,
and
whatever.
Wait, don't Andre 3000 know how to play that weird instrument now?
Man, I don't know what you call it. We just gonna call it a spirit flute.
Yeah, whatever that is.
I can't remember if it was. I can't remember. Was it? I don't know if it was. Pharrell might be on drums. He might be on. I don't know. I think maybe Chad played saxophone. I don't know, but somebody played sax in Neptune. But yeah, I think that'd be dope.
That'd be fire, bro. Just putting everything together and everything like that. Like, and
Jamie keys, you know what I'm saying? So,
right. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like it's one of those things that I believe that would be like extremely dope and everything like that. So we're gonna get into 2 more segments and I'm gonna get you out here. So we always got to do top 5, right? Now, the caveat for this one, it'll be a top 5. You don't have to put it in order, and it can be currently, but I gotta ask the number one nerd question: top 5 animes.
This is always hard because I like so much stuff, man.
That's why I give the caveat. It could be right now, and it don't got to be in order.
Okay, no order. And this is purely based off of, or not purely, but basically, sometimes I just like to pick. I pick what resonates with me either right now or like I'll even throw in stuff that just kind of got me introduced, So yeah, because I just like give credit to it, because like if it weren't for that, then I probably wouldn't be into certain things. But shout out Dragon Ball, man. Like I don't know, like especially as somebody from the from the west side of the earth. I think a lot of people got introduced, to Dragon Ball Z, and their life changed. And it wasn't my first anime, but I think that was the one that just made me want to dig deeper, like for real. You know what I'm saying? And find out other stuff. So shout out to Kira Toriyama, what I'm saying? That's my homie. We got a meeting later on, whatever, have some coffee. But anyway, Dragon Ball Z or just Dragon Ball franchise, period.
Yeah, the franchise in general.
Of course, Naruto. Naruto was like, that was probably the first time I started reading manga. And like that was like, when I'm reading, it just it got deep for me, because I was like, ain't no more episodes. What the fuck? What's going on? So I was like, I was that intrigued. I said, you know what? I'm gonna start reading the manga. And it was like, honestly, it was better for me. Just straight to the point, getting to it, the story. Kishimoto is amazing. His his style, art style. So yeah, Naruto, and just really resonating with the character who dealing with some issues. You know what I'm saying? Like just so that one, because it So Dragon Ball, Naruto. I would say one that gives me a little bit of both of those feels, probably Yu Yu Hakusho.
Ooh, solid.
That's a deep one for me. Let's see here. We got 5, right? That's 3. So let me see here. Let's go new school. I like My Hero Academia.
Hey, hey, solid.
That's yeah, that was like the first time, or not the first time, but yeah, I'd probably say that was the first time I got excited, like as much as I did about maybe like Naruto for a new school anime. And just to take it back again, because like it was the first time I probably saw anime and I had no idea that it was an anime. I was, let me see, I was in elementary school, had to get on the bus hella early in the morning. So what I used to do is I used to get up, brush my teeth, clean my face, all that stuff, put my clothes on, you know, and then lay right back down and turn the TV on. It'd be like 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And I turned the TV on and I saw this girl. She was, something was going on, magical and mystical.
Yeah.
I was intrigued because
yeah,
I was like, is she naked? Like, what's going on here? Like, I don't know if my eyes was ready to see that as a young boy. I was a little boy, you know, but from then on there, I became a fan of Sailor Moon. So I was saying,
shout out to all the men who ain't scared to say that they love and rock with Sailor Moon. Like, I'm with you on that, bro. Like, Sailor Moon was just like, yo, it's just like, yeah, it gets you with that at first, but when you watch it and go through the story and everything, you like, hey, this is actually kind of fire though. Like, you know what I'm saying?
No, seriously though, just all jokes aside, like Sailor Moon was so cool because I kind of felt like I got the concept or aspect of like Power Rangers before I even saw it. Like, it just kind of reminds me of that. Like, you got all the different, you know, you got the teammates and the different powers and the color coordination and the fact that like every episode is kind of, it's almost like, you know, you something funny. You introduce the problem. You got to figure out how we're gonna do it. We beat the big bad villain at the end, and then we repeat and do it again tomorrow.
Yeah,
so, you know, really easy to get into real quick. So yeah.
You know, one of the things that you had said before, and I was like, finally somebody on my side. So obviously, if you rock with with Dragon Ball, GT is kind of like the sore thumb of it, but there's parts of it that I rock with heavily, right? Like Super Saiyan 4. I love Super Saiyan 4. I thought Baby was an amazing villain. Like, out of all, like, Baby was an amazing villain. But that GT intro that you said is one of your top 3 intros, I said, finally somebody, like, you got to take what's in there, like, bro. Like, and that intro, because like you said, like, you have that, you have the Yu Yu Hakusho and Bluebird as your top 3 intro music, right?
Yes.
Has that changed or still?
Nah, it's still the same, man. I mean, it's so many, like, I mean, like, you know, Dragon Ball and of course, like, Naruto got so much good intro and outro music,
bro.
So it's even hard just because, you know, just to pick Bluebird and just say nothing else. But, you know, like, those were the ones that resonate with me the most. And what was I about to say? Yeah, like, so those are still the same. And even like, and I think I said too, like, what was it? I think like Inuyasha got some god outro music too, man. Like, oh my gosh, and Cowboy Bebop, there's a whole bunch of stuff. But yeah, those are definitely, man. Like, when I hear like the intro to GT, is just, it makes me think about, and maybe that's why I like it so much. It makes me think about like the ending of GT, the end, Baby, and the ending. The last episode of GT might be the best parts of GT. Yeah, because I think like GT, what I will say, I think it did better than Dragon Ball Z is it wrapped up the series better than Dragon Ball Z wrapped up, I believe. Yeah, like it was almost like, yeah, I'm gonna go train this dude, and I flew off in the sky. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. That's the end of my journey. But it's like, man, we've been rocking with this dude. You know, he literally been a character since like 1985, and y'all just going, right? You know what I'm saying? But GT like really made you feel like, damn, like that's it. We ain't gonna see him no more. You know what I'm saying? This is the end of the story. So that's why and then they played that song like to close out the series. Yeah. I thought that was cool.
And, you know, I think also, like, because, you know, like I said, in our culture, we are embedded in music, right? So it's like when you see creators like King Vader who flips it, because when he flipped that Naruto, bro, like that, and this is when I knew King Vader was way like it was about to go crazy with him. I remember we had did a Crunchyroll Expo. We was covering Express, right? My first time meeting King Vader, so I'm like, oh, I'm gonna chop it up with King Vader, and Pierre Steps was there with him as well, right? And, you know, he's the one that does like the all the videos that be like, you know, high five in real life, but high five in anime like him, right? So, but he had a boombox, right? So in these conventions in Crunchyroll, they do this thing called Crunchy City, right? And so the whole inside looks like a city, and they have like the central area. And when I tell you that Pierre played that theme from King Vader's video, and you saw people run like it's like you would have swore somebody got on the intercom and said Cash Money taking over for the 99-2000.
Yeah.
Because everybody started running. You start seeing everybody doing the dance. I'm like, yo, this is, I was like, and I'm sitting here with King Vader as it's happening all around us. And I'm like, dog, this is like some next level Blerd shit. Like that was the first Blerd rock star that I seen. Like he was legit a rock star in that moment. And I said, this culture is you cannot tell me nothing about this culture. This culture is an elevated level of it. So it's like that's why again I love seeing when you do stuff, because like when you did bring in the Sailor Moon and like you know what I'm saying, like you said, the knowing that you animated it now, like, but it's also the comedic aspect that we have to it. You know what I'm saying? Because like it's you peeking through the door and then you rapping and stuff. Like I'm just like, yo, it's just like it's just so dope, your creativity to it, bro. It's like you are definitely one of the people, like I said, when we talk about Blerd culture and people that we have to amplify and that we have to support, and the people that like my whole platform is that I want to make sure that I'm amplifying the dope things. Like I realized in this world, there's so many podcasts that cover geek culture and everything like that, and there's black geeks that do it, and I love that, right? And I become fans of them. There's so many artists like you know what I'm saying, that do this and integrate all these cultures together. Where I realize where my role is, even though I'm an artist as well and I still do my music, my role is I love to amplify voices, you know, especially marginalized groups. Like I'm a LGBTQ plus supporter, you know what I'm saying? I'm literally an ally. You know, Asian culture. I always make sure I stand up for black women. I always make sure I'm very vocal. Like I've said, I'm like, look, call me a simp, call me super, say I got a cape on. Yeah, I'm all that for black women. Always, never, nonstop, right? So I was like, I realized like my role in Blerd culture is I'm going to be the reporter of the culture, because there's dope things that people don't get highlighted for. Like, you know, there's cosplayers who like do amazing cosplay, and outside of them talking to somebody on Twitter, like nobody is really amplifying it. I'm like, no, I want to do that. Like DreamCon, that was an amazing convention. That should have been on the news, right? So I'm like, I'm going to build my platform up to the point where if somebody wants to get in Blerd cultures, like, yo, I don't even know who, like, you know what? I'm going to check out Geekset. You know what I'm saying? Even our inception, our logo is the Dipset logo a little bit, but it's like, instead of the money in the hand, in the Eagle Palms, it's the PlayStation controller and it's the Xbox controller. But like, we blend that hip hop and geek culture, but I'm like, I'm going to make sure I amplify these people, right? So it's like, it is that, like, you keep on walking your life. Every type of success you make, we're either going to talk about it on the podcast, we're going to put it on our, what's the name? Like we're actually working on a documentary called the Black Geek Documentary. We started it at DreamCon. We're going to convention. We're talking to the culture, because it was like, when we go to conventions, it's different from any other experience. So we are navigating and reporting on the culture of that. So it's like, it is that, it's like, bro, I love this culture so much. So anybody that's doing dope in it, like, I give all manifestations to you and your star rising as far as it can go, because we need you and we need you to win. And so it's one of those things, like, no matter what, bro, you always have a place here to come speak, to come promote. You know what I'm saying? If you ever need us to help out or anything, let us know. But like, just like, that is my role, is I'm going to be the reporter of the culture. I want Geekset to be the Breakfast Club of Blerd culture. Like, you know how people like, as an artist, you want to go to that Breakfast Club interview or Sway's interview or freestyle on, you know what I'm saying, on Funk Flex or whatever. I want, if you are a Blerd, you want to come to Geekset. That's my goal for this platform. So it's like, man, I just want to make sure, like, I let you know again, man, we love everything that you're doing, bro.
Thank you, man. And I definitely know that's going to happen. I see that for you. Because I see how passionate you are, you know, even just like, it's one of the dopest interviews I've ever had. So I already know.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, most def. And also just wanted to touch on one other thing. Like, I'm just so happy for, you know, our community. I think anything that we do is always different, and it's, you know, no matter what it is. And I'm just, you know, I'm ecstatic about that. But I'm so happy just to see like how much like this culture has evolved, you know, because at one point in time, you know, I remember like, you know, I couldn't even say anything about this type of stuff without, you know, getting, you know, beat up or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I got picked on a lot, you know, but I will say this. I remember, and I tell this story all the time, you know, to my friends, and it's funny to me now. But like, I wasn't, I was picked on a lot, but it was crazy because at the time, like I knew this guy who used to give me like, this is before I think Toonami got the rest of the episodes for Dragon Ball Z, whatever, back like they used to have it on repeat all the time. Like they like the first 40 some episodes and then go straight back to the beginning. And I had this dude, he had like tapes with subtitles, like, Dragon Ball Z, like straight recorded in Japan, you know what I'm saying? So he was giving me tapes and stuff, and so I used to be at school, and they found out like I knew what was gonna happen to Frieza,
right?
Blah blah blah, and and they be like, wait, what? So because even the popular kids, like they wouldn't tell you, you know what I'm saying, but they was into that too, but it's so different now that everybody can embrace it, but they'd be like, hey, and we'll leave you alone if you, saying what this Super Saiyan shit you talking about? What's going on with that? And I'll be like, all right, gather around. Let me tell y'all. You know what I'm saying? That's also a Super Saiyan too. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it's like, so I think anime for that, because anime saved my life. A lot of times it got me out of a lot of shit. So yeah.
You know what's funny? Because in culture, so I'm gonna ask you this at the end too, because we always got to give a recommendation to people. Like that's part of the culture, putting people on, right? But because of that, and because we blend hip hop culture and geek culture, like I be having like the most gangsters niggas come up to me like, "Hey, yo, man, like, so like, which anime should I check out?" Right? So I started making lists like in terms that they can understand, right? So I'm like, all right, look, if you're looking for an anime where niggas catching these hands, I watch Baki, watch it. Like I started, like, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're looking for an anime, like I started using those type of terms because I love putting people on. Like, so it's always been dope and everything like that. So like we do recommendations. What type of record? Like it's something that you're watching, you're listening to, you're reading, but something that you think that our viewers should check out.
As far as anime?
Yeah, sure. It could be comic book, anime, anything, just nerd culture.
Okay, bet. Let me think. I would say like the novels, the Naruto novels that Kishimoto has been writing. I just copped the Kakashi one. I hadn't read it just yet, but like I know even if you've read the manga, you've seen the series, it's just like it goes so much more in depth. With like it's so much character development. It's like I felt like I was able to like be in the brain of Itachi, and understand, because like I feel like I didn't really understand his character as much as I should have, just by watching the series. So like I got like a few of them over here on the wall, but like I would definitely just read those novels. It's just straight book, no pictures, but it's dope.
Yeah,
like it's like the imagery is even more vivid. You know what I'm saying? Just than not having manga panels or whatever.
Dope, man. You know what's funny is we've been doing this for about 2 years, and it's a subtle pride point that I have. Every Black person that I have interviewed on my platform has recommended some type of reading. And to me, I just love that because, the stereotype, they always try to make it seem like, what I'm saying, we ain't as, intellect as we are. We're not reading. So I love, like, not even prompted. I didn't tell you to do that or anything like that, but everybody they go to a reading thing. And I love that for us, man.
That's dope. I'm with
So you call your crew, you call your supporters the Village. We call our supporters the Eagle Scouts. So where would you like our supporters to find you, and what would you like them to support you on?
Yeah, I mean, you can find me everywhere just by searching DearSilas. Thank God I got the same handle across every platform. I was blessed to be able to have it because everybody ain't able, but yeah, it was available. So DearSilas, DearSilas. That's on any streaming platform, search for me, man. We just hit 1.2 monthly listeners on Spotify.
Hey,
and I was like, wow, like, and we started the year at maybe 30-something thousand, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's been a huge leap. This has been an amazing year. And yeah, man, if you want to join the Village, you can text 601-552-6316. Just send a leaf emoji or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And that's how you get in with the, I like to communicate with them and send messages, sometimes not even just about what I got going, but just encouragement. A lot of times that's mostly what it is for the most part. But yeah, just DearSilas on everything. Website is dear-silas.com if you want to cop merch and all that good stuff too.
Dope. I'm sure some of our Eagle Scouts are going to cross over, you know what I'm saying, and jump over to the Village. If any of the Village also wants to join the Eagle Scouts, man, just subscribe to the YouTube. We use the eagle emoji. So as you use the leaf emoji, we use the eagle emoji for us and everything like that. So, you know, we're building our you know, our supporters as well and things like that. But man, I definitely appreciate you, man. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for your time. This is Young Deuces. This is 1-on-1 with Deuces, the only place that blend hip hop culture and geek culture together. And we are out. Peace.